Yes, I'm thankful for y'all, for those of you that is joining me. The reason I'm doing this video is because I wrote something, What is a Real Woman? Now, I wrote it several times. I didn't, I revised it. But I'm going to share with you what I feel is a real woman based on my observation and also seeing how women have, been in my personal life. So I'm going to go on. Many of us have the understanding of what is a real woman based on how we was raised by our mother or the woman we are in a relationship with. But there's particular reasons and elements, that would define what is a real woman. And here it is. For you as a real woman to play your role in your house, you must embrace it as a singular identity. To be singular would define you solely responsible and not subjected to expecting outside support for excessive corrections. To waste your time looking for plurality when you haven't found out who you are and to achieve your goals will rob you of your generality. That feeling to fulfill your empty void companionship is one of the most mental breaking races devise. It is not unusual for you as a woman to find yourself being a single parent. You are loaded down with all of the troubles and stresses is a curse from fornication. Be glad, women. You who have no children, start shouting. You who have no labor pains, the woman who is all alone has more children than the woman who has a husband. Galatians chapter 4, verse 27. A lot of single mothers is in and out of bed with different mans. Galatians 4, chapter 27 have been written a long time ago and explain what truth is and has been taking place. A lesson many women find difficult to overcome. I'm not judging you because I don't know what I do not know what your struggle is, and I do not know what happened in your life. When the wait is not worth your time, you need to stop and think of the consequences. Now, why would you want to invest your precious time and resources in that which is pointless? It would not lead you anywhere great except the same place you've been in, and that is nowhere. Kind of like a dog chasing his or her tail in a circle. It would be better for you to invest your time in yourself. That way, the self-reward will become more satisfying because it comes from the works of your own hands and heart. I feel many women have lost the ability to fully utilize the full capacity of their common sense to stand up for that which is proper and appropriate. Many have clearly become dependent on the abysmal distractions for worldly survival. In my opinion, is straight up stupidity. As a woman, you could be at fault for continuing to lose respect for yourself. You constantly fall for the expectations and preset standards you are unable to meet. Technically, you can't afford the designer things because you don't have a stable financial future. You need to readjust and reevaluate your life, the people around you, the energy that you're bringing into your life and you are projecting from yourself. Are you happy with your life? If not, what need to change? You do have the power to change. The problem in most cases is women don't think for themselves. You let people do the thinking for you. Way too often, you is easily manipulated and recruited to a new philosophy in such a way that the ideology expand your thinking beyond that which is normal, considering what is totally necessary. You is being mind manipulated and exploited by what you're watching on television and listen to that is pimping, controlling, and modifying, changing your brain, your thinking. Let that digest for a second. Those trends falsely claim they have the solution for your woes by feeding on your emotional experience, provide them the energy to spread their poisonous teaching, which continually contaminate your vision. Some of the worldly teachings can be designed for the sinful woman and perpetuate those sin and not the God-fearing woman. There is nothing seriously religious based in those teachings. Do keep in mind, it do not benefit your permanent salvation. Yes, temporarily, but you will keep soul searching. Stay away from opposing ideas that are falsely called knowledge. Some people believe them. By doing that, they have wandered away from the truth. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 20 and 21. Do not feel the need to take on the role of the man just because you do not get enough respect as a woman would eventually lead to you with those thoughts and attitudes of becoming a homosexual woman. I have nothing against people that like the same sex, but I'm just speaking to those of you who do not swing that way. Really, it is hard for anyone to respect someone with no self-respect, period. You do not need to impersonate the position of a man to fulfill your womanly duties. The observation, it is rare for you as a woman as a whole to hold your own when it comes to raising your child without a man companion and building a respected self is rarely found. Why pay a man for sex or a relationship when you can have a husband? Have you not noticed that it's more troublesome paying for sex? What happens when you pay for sex? It leads to diseases. If you don't use contraception, sometimes the contraception don't work. Sometimes the man don't want to use contraception. The woman, become in agreement with the man to not use contraception, not telling him she got a disease, or he not telling her, or him, not telling her he got a sexually transmitted disease. And now it continuates. You start to feel personal, some type of way. You felt deceived, but all along you was open to the choice of not using contraception. You are blinded by your untamed lusts. Get control of yourself, you tramps. As a prostitute, you are the opposite of others. No one run after you to make love to you. You are exactly the opposite. You pay them. They do not pay you. That's in Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 34. Let me spill some truth to you real quick. The woman. To take care of a man when you have not taken care of yourself is not a sound mind, but an unsound mind that's unstable. There's nothing wrong with being with a man that you can support and help to elevate himself out of the condition or situation he in to be better. But it's a problem if you constantly helping a man and he stays stagnated. He stays stuck where he's at and he don't want to change. It's a waste of time. To be with a man child will cause you to falter. Evaluate the contributions, if any, he make. When his bark is bigger than his bite works, you need to let him know he got to go without no hesitation. The dumb and miserable woman would allow him to suck her back into more debt, pain, and misery. Hell, you've been with him for quite a while now and still no improvement. What would you lose letting him go except the extra mouth to feed? He is a liability that subtracts from you building much greater should you keep him along for the ride. Should you keep him, that means you two losers equal a losing team. Just take a strong and hard look at yourself. See what you have now. Is it what you need, or do you need better? There's nothing stopping you from having better things but you and the choices you make as a woman. A man-child that sit around and waiting for events to turn in his favor to help out is leeching and will break your heart eventually. You do not need a man-child around, especially between your legs, reaping the pleasures of your private area. do not safeguard what is between your legs from a man-child, you will be damaged and taken advantage of on a multi-dimensional level. Control yourself. Be on your guards. Your enemy, the devil, is like a roaring lion. He prowls around looking for someone to chew up and swallow. 1 Timothy chapter 8, verse 8. Chapter 5, verse 8. Remember when you should not be single forever. Excuse me. Remember, you should not be single forever. The most you can do is be ready for that man that comes into your life. I'm not saying become, part of the movement of celibacy. What I'm saying is you must have to create a character within yourself that is true to find that true connection with your man or male companion, whichever you prefer, man or male. Braiding your hair doesn't make you beautiful. Wearing gold jewelry or fine clothes doesn't make you beautiful. Instead, your beauty comes from inside of you. It is the beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit. Beauty like that doesn't fade away. God placed great value on it. That's 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 3 and 4. For those of you that do not understand, allow me to explain. I know dressing up is a great thing and it's a beautiful thing for self-confidence, and it increases one's self-esteem. But when you rely on what is on the outside of you to build up what is on the inside of you, it is artificial and it is bound to fall apart. Let's just say all of the external factors are removed from the equation. Exactly what do you expect will happen in your personal life? A breakdown like a depression, nervous breakdown, becoming an alcoholic, etc., etc. You fail to see the answer exists inside of you and not on the outside. True beauty comes from within and do not need those things outside of itself to create what is inside. Your true beauty, no one can take or replace unless you allow it to happen. So I want to finish this off with, when I wrote this, I know I could have took my time to memorize it and, spoken it, a lot faster, but this is what I have wrote from the heart. Because the same woman that I describe in here as a real woman is the same woman that I seek for myself as the king that I am. And it's not that you can't become a real woman. It's what is the things in your personal life that is preventing you from reaching your goal as a real woman to have that real man, because you allow yourself to settle for those things that is making you constantly unstable. You allowing yourself to be the center of attention to a negative energy that is really not your focus. And it's prevented you from becoming the real woman that you have been made and designed to be. So with that being said, I want you to know there is always choices left in your stable, your mind to make, to become the real woman you need to be. And don't find offensive every man that seems to approach you or approach you, because there are a lot of good men as myself out there in the world. And you may be rejecting your king because of the experience that you took up on or you have had in your past from some knuckleheads. God bless you. Have a good night. Be a real woman.